Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. I have been working with Belba family, and if you've been with me for any length of time and you've seen my previous videos, you know that I've been working with them to get this new type of coloring book out. And it's not color by number, but yet it is. It's a whole different kind of animal. And they are going to have the book in publication. They did send me another one to do, correcting and taking a few of my suggestions. And this is what they came up with. Let me double check. I don't have that sheet of paper here. What they were going to be calling the book. But I will have that for you. I will include it in the title of this video and on the thumbnail. So you will know what the book is going to be called. But they also want your input on the format that they came up with, because one thing that I pointed out to them, the first sample that they sent me, the picture itself was the entire page, so it was this way, and the squares were bigger. And then the codes, you know, the square numbers telling you what square had to be what color, was on a separate sheet. So, you know, I had pointed out to them that if they put this on one side and then maybe, you know how color by numbers have the picture here and then the color palette here, I said to them the only thing that's going to be a problem with that is if somebody wants to use alcohol markers that's going to bleed through, they're not going to be able to see the color palette for the next picture unless people work backwards in the book. So I guess this is what they came up with. They made it much smaller though. So I believe this is the same as all their other books where they're 3mm squares, because that's what their other color by number square books are. And then they have the color palette or the grid right next to it, which is good, you know. However, I don't know if this is going to be too small. I tried this on my own first before I made this video. I did not have a real hard time, you know, seeing it and completing it. But I don't know if that's going to be the case for everybody. So that's the first thing. I want you to let me know down in the description, in the comments below, because again, they're looking for feedback from you, because after all, you guys are going to be the ones purchasing these books. It's going to be a whole new series of books, so they have a name for the series. And again, I apologize, I don't have that with me. And then the title of each particular book. So I thought what I would do is we would start doing this picture. Now this particular picture does not have a background, and I just put my 2 cents in worth. I don't know if everybody else's opinion is the same. I like having a background in my picture, like all of the other square format books that are color by number. They always had a background colored in also. I said I myself would prefer to have that. If that's the input that they get, they will include another color, you know, in here to do a background. You know, I said I realize it's going to take, you know, a little bit longer to complete the picture then, you know, because you'll have more squares to color in. But again, more feedback from you guys would be greatly appreciated. So let's start this picture. Of course, I'm not going to be able to finish it on camera. I didn't really time myself when I did it the first time, and I got interrupted by making supper and things like that. So my best guess was like 3.5 hours maybe to do this one. It wasn't real long. It's not something you're going to get done in half an hour or anything, but yeah, I would say anywhere between, you know, 3.5, maybe 4 hours. So yeah, not that bad. One other thing I did suggest to them is maybe splitting up the book into 3 sections, having a easy, medium, and hard, or beginner, intermediate, advanced. So somebody that has never done this before would maybe want to try an easy one where you would have a bigger grid, and it, so again, feedback from you guys. So my favorite thing to use on these types of pictures is my Ink Onyx by Arteza. And I have my handy dandy little chart in my handy dandy little book for the Ink Onyx for Belba family, because I have my colors all picked out. What I did now though is I have a separate case from Arteza. Let me zoom you back out. That I keep my color by number pens in. I pulled them from my other sets. So here are my Twi markers for Belba. And then here are my Ink Onyx that are just for Belba. So I know that this is color number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, all the way through the, 22 colors? So yeah, it makes it real easy for me to pull what color is what. So I don't even really have to look at this too much anymore, but it's nice to have in case I need it. Okay, so because peach is so light, I'm not going to start with that color or yellow. Or now they did change number 3. It used to be called beige. They are now calling it skin tone. And I'm assuming their future books are going to have skin tone rather than beige. It was kind of confusing to people. So we're going to start with orange, which in the back of their books, you know how they always have the color palette? It was number 4. So I'm going to pull out the Ink Onyx that I use for orange, which is 112. And I'm going to show you how this is done in case you haven't seen my previous video on doing these. Let's zoom way in. So how you will complete these, because there is no number in the grid itself, you're going to use this over here. So you'll notice you have numbers up the side and you have letters on top and the bottom. So we have the numbers here and we have letters across the top and across the bottom. So they go A through Z in capitals, and then they go to lowercase. Okay? So if we look over here at orange, the very first square is W32. So you're going to come over here, you're going to see W. You're going to come down to 32. Okay, so you follow it over. So, and I always do the X method. You can color it in solid if you want. That one's going to be in orange. So then I go over here and I mark it off because I know that I did that one. Now the next one is W33, so we know it's right above the 32. Now one suggestion I did make to him, and to me, I think this made it so much faster. In the first sample that he sent me, instead of having, like for instance, this C5-C8, he had C5, C6, C7, and C8. To me, it's much easier to have this dash in here, because then you know C5 through C8 is all, in this case, scarlet. Okay, so that's what the dash is going to mean. All of those will be that color. When it's only one additional number, like this instance, it's 32 and then 33. They list them separately with a comma in between and not a dash. Again, what do you think about that? To me, it almost would be easier again to have the dash, because then you know right away looking at this that both of these are going to be orange. I don't know, my opinion, but let's go to X31. So you can either follow the X down depending upon if it's a lower number, a higher number. Let's follow X down to 31. And you color it in. Check it off. I check it off just to make sure I know that I have done it. If there are a number of them in a row, sometimes I'll wait till I get that column done. Totally up to you. So then we have, again, it's one right after it. It is X32. Then we go to, let me check that off, we go to Y31, which is here. A16, and it's a lowercase a, so we're not in the capitals, we're in the lowercase a, so we skip Z, and we go to A16. So I know we're down here more, so I'm going to follow this one up to 16, and I always kind of double check, make sure I'm in the A column, and 16. Now maybe using a ruler on this would help. I don't know, I just thought of that, you know, and you could move your ruler so you know for sure. I don't know, just a thought again. So we have A16 and 17. And then the last orange, we have B17 and B18. So we know B is right after the A, 17 and 18. Okay, so that is all of the orange. Not a whole lot of orange. Let's go on to brown, which is number 7 on the palette, which again you will see on the back of the book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so number 7 for me is walnut brown, 164. Okay, so the first one here, we see A23-A26. So we know A23, 24, 25, 26 is all going to be brown. So it's a capital A. Let's go up to 23, 24, 25, and 26. Now sometimes you're going to get quite a few that are all one color. What I do in that case is I do the bottom one and I do the top one, so I know I'm not going to get X happy and go up past, and then I know exactly which ones I have to fill in. Kind of worked. Works for me. Okay, then we have B 25 to 27. So here we have B 25, 26, and 27. Last in the browns is C 26 to C 28. So we have 26, 27, and 28. So again, that's all of the browns. Now if you look over here, you can see scarlet. There's a whole bunch of scarlets in here. Let's start with the pink. We'll do a few pinks and then we'll do a few of each of the other colors. You can kind of get a feel for it. So pink is number 9. My pink that I have for number 9 is 129 Fuchsia. Okay, so let's do some pretty pinks. First one we have here is C42. I know 42 is up near the top, so I'm going to follow it down up here. And here is 42. Cross it off. I-36. Sounds like bingo, right? We're playing bingo. I-36. When I'm farther away like this, when I'm recording, it's harder for me to follow. When you're actually coloring it yourself, you'll be closer. You'll be able to follow it a little bit easier. 36 and I-37. Okay, J33 through J37. So J33 And then if it was more, for instance, I know it's through J37, so I'll put that up there. Then I know I have to fill these in between. And like I said, I won't accidentally go up here. Then we have K31 through K36. K31 is down here. Now I also did have them, let's see, we go to K36. I also had them every 10 squares put just a little bit of a thicker line, if you can see that on this grid. So every 10 squares has a little bit of a thicker line, so you could always do that too, as 10, 20, 30. Then the 1 starts right above that thicker line. Same with the, so that would be the rows, and same with the columns coming down. Every 10 columns, there's just a little bit of a thicker line, just to kind of help you follow down and across. So we have K31 through 36. Then we have L32 through 34. So we come down with L32, 33, and 34. Not exactly sure if this is 3 millimeter like the books or if it's 4, but it seems like it's the same size as the other books. Then we have M33. M33. One thing that I found doing this, don't, how should I say this? Don't assume that you know exactly, if you look at this N24, okay. I make sure, because I have done this when I did the very first one and I screwed up a couple of times, I kind of double check myself before I put the X in. And if you do screw up, you screw up, One thing that I did find, I took a, gosh, what did I end up finding? I have so many different, like, white gel pens, white Sharpie. I think my white oil base Sharpie worked the best, the ultra fine tip, for covering up an X, letting it dry, and then you could correct your mistake. You could still kind of see it, but it did cover it up relatively well. So if you do screw up, there kind of is a way to correct it a little bit. N24. So 24 we know is going to be down here. Let's just do a few more pinks and we'll go on to the next color, 019. And let me know if you think this would be something you'd be interested in. I had a blast doing this. Oh, see, now I went into 20. Isn't it? Yeah. Like I said, from up here, it's kind of hard to follow. And 020. See, that's where I think having a dash in between would be nicer than putting a comma. Okay, so I didn't almost make a boo-boo anyhow. Okay, so let's go on to the next color. Of course, you'd go through and complete all the pinks. Scarlet, which is by far most of our color. That would be number 10 on the palette. And I use 101 red for that. Okay, so we're going to start out with A1 through A3. So we start right down in the corner. 1, 2, 3. And check it off. Then we go way up to the top, A42 and 43. 42, 43. Check those off. A46 to A48. And the very top one is 48. So we're just going to do these top 3. Is this making sense? I hope. you know, once you get going at it, it's not that difficult. It just takes time, but you know, that's kind of what coloring is. To me, this is relaxing. This is very enjoyable. I just, like I said, I had so much fun doing this. But again, they want feedback from you guys. If this is something you feel that you would purchase and do. If nobody's going to want to buy it, then they're probably going to scrap the project. But yeah, if it's something that you feel you would like to do, definitely leave me some comments. I'm sure Belba family will be reading all them, taking everything in from what you guys all say about this. So it's really important that we get feedback from you guys. B3 through B6. 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do a couple more reds and we'll go on to the next color. B41, so we know that's way up here. 41 through 43. Okay, one more red. 44 through 48, B. So, okay, wait a minute. Oh, 45. I'm like, wait, they're connected. Okay, so 45 through 48, all the way up to the top. All right, so that's where we'll leave it for the scarlets. We'll go on to the reds, which is a little bit of a darker red. So for that one, I pick 114 currant. What is that? Currant red. Okay, so let's start the reds, B1 and B2. So we fit this in down here under the scarlets. Then we have C3 and C4. D5 and D6. So you can see we're just kind of going up the grid here. E7 and E8. F9, F10. So yeah, we're just going up. Kind of, no. And G10, G11. H11, H12. I should have made sure it was H here. That's what I said. Don't assume that it's right the next one because it could have skipped a column. And that's where I screwed up the very first time I did one of these. I1. Couldn't tell if it was I11 because the next one is I12. So it's I1 and then I12 and 13. Okay, let's go on to green. And that is number 18. 18 that I use is 161 emerald green. So yeah, every question that I brought up in this video, please comment below. They're really waiting for your feedback on this. Once I complete one, I usually take that color. I didn't do it up here, but I usually take that color and I check it off so that I know that color is done. So when I was done with the orange, I would have taken the orange marker and checked it off, and then the brown. Doesn't matter what color, but just as, you know, then I know for sure that color is done. So here we have B39 and, well, let's just go B39. I got into trouble there too once before because my memory is not good. I could tell myself B39 and then C39 and C40, but I could screw up by doing that. Okay, so let's go to B39 is up here. And then C39 and C40. So check those off. D40, H38 and H39, 38, double check that it's H, okay, 38, 39, couple more of these and we'll go on to the dark green, which is our last color. I40 and 42, so 40, oh, through 42, sorry, 40, 41, and 42. One moment. Every time I get talking on a video, I get a tickle in my throat. Okay, then we have K40. And we're up here. And K43. And I'm almost off camera. And then K48, which I know is my top row. Okay, then we have L39. We'll go through the L's and then we'll go to the next color. L39, which is right here. No, that wasn't. That was 40. Bummer. There I go. I kind of assumed it was next to that. So I, at this point in time, would get my white out or whatever you want to use. I would kind of cover that up so that it can dry. And then when you come across what needs to go in there, you can color it correctly. I would have to screw up on camera, wouldn't I? L42 to 44. Like I said, normally I am closer to this and I can follow better. And I usually use both of my fingers, but because I want to point out where we're at on here, I use my finger down here. L46 to 48. Again, I know 48's my top row. 46, 47, and 48. Okay, so now we'll go on to the dark green, which is number 19. And I know for mine, I use 120, which is seaweed green. And we start out with N46. So we come over to N. I know 46 is way up at the top. So here again, I said, don't assume you're going to go right next to it. We skipped the column here. So N46. And what was it? N48. Okay, then we have O40 to O42. Let's see. See, if I do both fingers, then it works much easier. O40 to O42. Okay, O46 to O48. 48 again, we know is the very top. So 46, 47, and 48. Then we'll just do the P's and then we will quit. P41 to P43. I know my 40s are near the top. So we have 41 and through 43. Okay, check it off. Then we have P47 and P48. Again, we know 48's the top. Ooh, sun just went away. It's 47 and 48. Okay, so I am going to leave this picture right here. Just so that, well, let's not go that far out. Just so that I can give you an idea, again, of how this is going to be done. You would just work your way through the rest of the colors. I know I skipped past the peach, the yellow, and the skin tone. Again, they're, you know, lighter colors, and I don't think they would show up as well on camera as these darker colors for this example. So, what do you think of this project? Again, definitely leave comments below, especially if you are a Belba family lover like I am. I mean, I love, love, love their books, and if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that. So yeah, if this would be a format that you would be interested in, let us know. So, well, I thank you for watching this. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. And as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.